Look at this team right here, 2022-23. Syracuse women's basketball team is following in right now, and it just makes me smile, makes me excited, makes me realize that, greatness is on its way again. And, it's always the Australians that come in late. I'm hoping that's not the case. Oh, my God, here she comes. George, that's why you got to sit in the front. Come sit in the front. You got sit right there. I'm going to look right at you. I'm just thrilled that you all come out, and this is obviously new to me and new to us. And, we come from all walks of life, and we really came here to see if we can kind of make a difference from me, from my staff, from my coach, my players, and even, a lady named Karen, Miss Karen, our athletic trainer. She's been here 31 years, but this is new to her as well. And so we're really excited about this opportunity, and I want to field your questions and anything you have to ask. We're going to give our best answer. We're going to try to stay calm because I'm so pumped up that, it takes a lot for me to calm down, but I'm going to try. So questions? Yes, sir.
Coach, the energy that you've had over these last few months of being a part of this program and feeling the culture, just how you would describe what it's going to be like to step into the season under you.
Well, I didn't know what this was going to be like until the yeses started coming. The 4 young ladies that came with me from Buffalo, they had other opportunities, and they said yes to come and join me. And Olivia was a young lady from Kentucky that I tried to recruit her on 3 different stints, and I got a no, and I got a no, and I got a yes, and that yes came. And, the yes came with, Asia. Asia came in from Wichita State, and she had a lot of opportunities. And out of 140 schools, she chose us, and that was a yes. And I'm just looking around to see who else is around. Oh, yeah, Kyla. She came in from Temple, and she told me no to Buffalo, and she gave me a yes when we came here. And it's the last hour, we thought we were done. And this young lady named Dariana Lewis, second in the country in rebound, and had an opportunity to go many places. And, we got a yes from her. And the biggest yeses were the people that were already here that could have said, this is too much. I'm just going to take the scholarship and not even play anymore. This was just too dramatic. And recruiting them, the yeses came from Nana and Ava and Elena and this young lady named Tisha Hyman. So we're really excited about the yeses that we got, and that's where the energy came from. Yes, we're behind in the future part of recruiting, but it's really important that we understood the dynamic of what the foundation really was going to be, and it's going to be people that said yes right away. And we're just humbled by these young people, and I promise nobody else other than these 14 young people and my staff that I will give 1,000% every single day to make certain they're not afraid or disappointed in their yes.
Hey, Coach, character, academic, and basketball is something you've preached for you as a coach and in past teams. Will you go into some more detail about that, how you think this team defines that slogan?
It's just our makeup, from coming from my family. Growing up, no matter how poor we were, we had to represent this lady named Felisha Legette, and her thing was about character. You walked a certain way, you came to church, and you have to wear the same dress every day. You're going to be in a dress, and the character she exuded as a mother of 5 that had to figure out how to, rub 2 pennies together to make a nickel. And so we had that example, and that example was going to be anything I was going to be in charge of. And so that came right away when I became a head coach a few years ago, or a little bit more than a few years ago. And that was always important. I was a student athlete here, and I wasn't really pushed to be the best student ever. And, I was eligible, but I didn't do well my first semester. And my mother, got back at me and said, I'll take you out of that school. I promise you that. The academics will always be, that's all you got. The ball's going to stop bouncing. When you're 17 and 22 years old, you don't think it's going to. And I was that student athlete that played the game at a high clip and really didn't value the academics. And she made it very important that in our family, that's what it stands for. And basketball, I think these young people love to play the game. I love the game. I think that we're really good at how do we coach it. We've been around the world. And I think that, we're going to coach players up. It's great to have all Americans, right? But at the end of the day, I think that we're pretty good coaches to coach anybody that exude the character and strong academics. And so, got some great coaches that's going to help me with that.
Hey, Coach, what's it been like walking around campus after 22 years away? Does it feel the same? Does it feel different?
It's definitely different. When I'm walking with my headphones on and I'm just kind of, like I went for a walk today, and it's kind of surreal, and walking my sky top up the hill, and you see your apartment. Oh my goodness, that's pretty cool. But the problem I have is when I walk with Sue Ludwig, and we start giggling about silly things and pointing at some of the bird library is different for most people than it is for us, and the fun times we had, and we just you can see us, we almost like arm in arm, and it's just we're 56 years old, and she's older than me, of course. Let's keep put that on record, and we just love it, and then my coaches who. They thought I was lying to them about things about Thornton Park and about running by the cemetery at night by myself, and they're like, "There's no cemetery. It is a cemetery." And so they realized that I didn't lie to them. So I'm not a doctor. I'm just a coach, right? I love what I love, and I can be excited in what I'm doing, and I coach basketball, and I absolutely love my experience as a student athlete here, and I'm never going to apologize for that. And if you see me skipping around with my headphones on, and I got a crazy young lady next to me, Sue Ludwig, just leave us alone, all right? We're not crazy. We just love what we love, and we just love this university and the opportunity to be the head coach and a coach here.
Coach, there's like a lot of new players on this iteration of the team. What's the experience been like for you to kind of like, as we build up the character and build up the chemistry for both the players, but also for you?
I'm sorry, what's your question?
Oh, like what's the experience been like with building up the chemistry and the culture here with a lot of incoming new players?
You know what? And I say this, and I mean, in all due respect, in order to transfer, you have to be broken somewhere, right? And whether you came with me from Buffalo or whether you came from somewhere else, and that's my major concern: is how do we get everyone to just buy into you are enough? How do we buy into that? And then we had a great summer. We were allowed to go to New York and represent our Sykes, who played here, came in from California to play New York Liberty. And that bus trip right there really signified that our team was open to hope, buying in. And the singing and the laughing and things that happened on that bus, and the people that never been to New York, it was very funny at times. I was like, we had a curfew to get on the bus and to get back to go to the game. I see this guy driving 3 kids, and he's riding a pedal, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, these people are having so much fun and going by me so fast. And it's Tisha and Deasia and Asia. And I'm like, yo, where y'all going? They're like, oh, wow. And they're just I'm like, yes, I like to yell at kids for having fun, That's what it is all about. And I sense that we're really buying into fun, We certainly want to go pro. We certainly want to be, the ACC champions. We want to go to the Final Four, and we want to win it. We absolutely, all those dreams are their dreams and my dreams. But through the process, we want to enjoy it. And I sense that we're getting closer to that on a daily basis. And I always tell them, it's not winning out here that matters. It's within that locker room. And I think we're buying into that winning in the locker room every day.
We're going to go to Alex in the back and then Justin.
Felisha, I know you have a bunch of dreams for this team this year, but what is this team made of? What are we going to be seeing this year on the court between the players?
We're building it up to be blue collar and toughness and resiliency. And trusting the process. And if we can do that, I think the score is going to speak for itself. This team is talented. This team is an NCAA team. If we can build them, come together and get away from me and continue to go to that we thing, I really believe we can be a force to be reckoned with, and our story is going to be told on a bigger stage. And so I think that we have enough here on a daily basis for us to attain those goals. But we're going to do it in the blue collar. We're going to do it through defense. And, the offensive side of the ball, my coach said, we're going to run this offense. Yeah. Defense. Oh, whoa, wait, defense. That's where I come in. And I put a wall up, because defense is a part of the game that I think that the community is going to see that they really value that. And I think that our rationale for buying into the defense is about these kids' journey for the next 70-plus years. No one's going to dictate where you're going to go. You're going to tell your story any means necessary. It might take you longer because you're steadfast in what you believe in. But if you continue to believe 1,000% in what you're doing, and you tell somebody else this is what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, it's going to be great. Now, the problem I have is some of them are telling me what they're going to do right now in the team, and I'm listening, and thank God we got film, because I'm like, oh, I think we're going to do it my way, because look at this film right here. And so we're going to have fun with it, but I want these young ladies to know that, their story is going to be persistent and insistent through defense, and you're going to decide the outcome of your journey.
Coach, you talked about building that chemistry on the court in the locker room through the first, early portion of practice. What stood out to you about this team so far?
What stood out to me is that I'm like, we might have done some things here. I think we're really good. And we still have a couple kids that's really going to play some minutes, a lot of minutes, that haven't even stepped on the floor yet. And Karen's doing a tremendous job of being a head coach when it comes to giving me approval of who can be on the court. And I tell you what, when she unleashes these next two players, it's going to be more competitive. It's already competitive. But I think that our leaders are leading, and the people that need to do their roles are playing their roles. And when we kind of forget about what the me thing is and just play this game in its purity, this team is just talented and got a great IQ. And this is definitely not something that, I'm building by myself. I really believe that something bigger than me has stepped in and single-handedly allowed these young people to come to this place right now at this time, and I can be a part of it and witness how great they're going to become.
Coach, I know you said you recruited Olivia 3 different times. Kind of why continue to pursue her in the
I just like the kid. You know what? Why I don't take no lightly, as you tell. No, Olivia's she was a great player in this area. She just, when I knew it was no shot, she was definitely a BCS kid, but I just wanted to get to know her. She doesn't even know how many times I watched her in Albany tournament, and I go over and say hi, and she kind of wave at me, and I'm like, that's all I'm going to get is a wave. And, I went and hung out with her mom way before her mom got to know me, because there's some people you just know just belong with you. You didn't know if it was going to ever happen, but you just kind of want it. And so when she thought Maryland wasn't a good place for her, I got deeper into the recruitment process with her. I got people that she really connected with, and I had those people got on the phone with me and her and a three-way, and we tried to do it that way. And she listened, and she listened, and she listened, and the answer was no again. But the way she said no wasn't inappropriate. It wasn't, I'm somebody special. It was, I appreciate you doing it. I appreciate you seeing me and liking me, and I value that. And then the answer came. It was a soft no. And this time around, this is, you got the block S on your chest, and you got a law school that's pretty cool, Deneen Law School, and then you know that she's an incredible character person that stands for academics and basketball. There's no no. If you say no now, it's personal. And it wasn't personal this time. And so she said, like we talked about 3 times the charm, yes. And that 3 is important to me. 33, she knew if she would have said no, I would have probably had to go to the hospital or something and be sad for a week. And she didn't want that for me. Right, Liv? No, see?
Going back a little bit, you were talking about leaders stepping up to the plate. Who specifically have you seen as leaders, and how have you?
On different occasions, leaders show up. There's different occasions when people on the court became leaders, and different occasions, off the court become leaders. And I think that we're all kind of, I don't want to say names because I don't want them to get uncomfortable with, oh, she's the leader now, and what about me, and all that fun stuff. I just think that right now we don't have a captain. Right now we had summer captains, and I think that was a little bit stressful when we don't even know who we were a captain of yet. And so we took that away, not that, others don't emerge to be captains, because we didn't want the pressure of that. Right now, put all the pressure on me. I can handle it, and I want them to do what they do. There's times when you see Liv as the leader on the court, then you see Stretch saying, come through me. Then you see Asia knocking down 5 threes in a row. You see Deasia do Deasia stuff. Then Tisha does, I call her Tisha now. What the heck? You guys got to keep in mind, I got an Asia, a Deasia, a Tisha, a Ava, a Naya, a Sanaya. I got 2 Wilsons. I got Olivia. That's kind of easy. And then there's Stretch. And then there's Stretch. And so we got a lot of things we're working on with these names, and I'm not good at even knowing my kid's name. I got 1 child, and I said, you know your name. Stop messing around with me. I don't have to call you by your real name. So But yeah, the leadership, and then you see a Kyra, she's just so, I mean, Wood is a special young lady that hasn't played a lot of minutes, and sneakily she's starting to talk so much, and the things she's saying is spot on. She's a wealth of information. So, and that Kennedy kid is playing above her freshman year. So everyone can step up and be leaders, and I expect them to do that because their dreams are in the balance.
Coach, you were mentioning earlier just about the Buffalo players that followed you here. Why do you think, I believe 4 of them just wanted to follow you here to Syracuse?
Well, 4 of them did follow, but more wanted to come, and that's a cool thing in this transfer portal thing. You know, yes, it's a bigger school, but for us to really have multiple young ladies say, we want to be where you are, and it is humbling, and I don't take that lightly. And I'm still connected with my former players that is all over the country right now. I think that the young ladies that did come with us is good enough to play at this level. And I just think that, you know, they get it. They get what we're trying to do. We're not trying to just win championships. We're trying to tell our story. And they bought into it, and they're buying into it, and they're just sitting on top of the building saying, I have no apologies about the decision I make because, you know, Syracuse is an amazing school and education is great, but that lady I call my head coach is going to, you know, stand in front of the car and make certain that I don't get hurt. And so I hope that's what it is. And it's not my perfume because they said anything like that. My dance probably helped me a little bit. I'm a really good dancer. So they like to watch. That's too much. That's too much information. But I'm humbled by it. I think that they're good enough to be here. And they chose me for a second time. I'm going to get different no to a yes. And someone said, no, I'm not just choosing you once, I'm choosing you twice. You know, that's enough to make a coach say, I got to be really good at what I do because they really believe in what we're trying to get out of them.
I think people realize how good Felisha Fair is. I mean, they saw her at Buffalo. I think they realize like the star potential she has in the ACC.
DeAsia is a special player because DeAsia, it's hard to guard somebody that where you can't really stop what their move is. Her move is on the court. Her move is her story. Her move is what she's trying to display about where she's coming from. And that's the neat thing about that. You're going to take her first move, her counter move, her third move away. You can't do that because her thoughts are about something way bigger than a game of basketball. And I just think that her best games were when we played on the bigger stage. And so when we go to the MAC tournaments, you know, we went to the MAC tournament twice while she was here. And, you know, the first time we went, that's COVID, and she was unstoppable. And then we did it the second time, and she was pretty good then. And we put her on the stage against Tennessee at a hostile environment. And she showed how great she can be, not because she's, you know, taller than anybody or maybe even not even better than everybody, but her story is different from anybody. I always tell her story is not a book, it's a movie. And when you get to know her, when you talk with her and you really allow her to trust you enough to share her story, you're going to realize that, gosh, this kid's not just a good player. She's an All-American, and I say top 10.
Coach, kind of following up on that, just wonder what it means to you to get another chance to coach DeAsia this year, just to have her with you here at Syracuse.
Pure joy, pure joy. You know, we build young people up so that they can get wings. And their wings going to fly them away. They're going to fly them to you sometime. And she was recruited by the whole country. And this was her opportunity to not just come here, but she needed to go and see what others were going to offer her because she earned the right to have a choice. And that's the way we could have lost her, you know. And some people that were here, you know, we were not going to pressure them to stay because they had a choice, right? And so she had a choice. And to have her say, I choose you again, as well as, you know, Georgia, and as well as Sanaya, and as well as Cheyenne McGavins, for them to say, I choose you again, they don't know how huge that is for the psychic of a coach. Like, you do what you do it for something bigger than yourself, you do it for the love. But for somebody like those 4 to say yes again to me, it says that I'm onto something. My humility has got to get greater, and my work ethic got to get even better. And I got to make certain that when I go out in games with this team, I got to be as perfect as I can because these young people say there's something about you that make me stick with you, prove me right. Forget about the world. Forget about being at this university. I need to prove these young four right, as well as the rest of the team.
Time for a couple more questions.
Cheyenne McGavins is another player that came with you from Buffalo. She tore ACL earlier this year. How have you seen her toughness over the past 2 months improve from that injury to get to where she is now?
She's brilliant. She's brilliant off the court, and she's brilliant on the court. I mean, she can go and grab the rim. I mean, she's just she will do whatever it takes for the team to win. There's a lot of people play, but they got an agenda. Her agenda is about the team. Her agenda is about, what did you say, coach? That's what we're sticking with as if it's God. And she will not let anybody sway. And to have her come and join us, it wasn't a situation where it was a right away situation, because I needed to make certain that she was understanding that what level this was, and I needed her to understand that her playing time would probably change a little bit, and she's coming off a knee injury. But this young lady, just anybody that can have her on your team, it's a jackpot. It's easy to see the big names and the talented people, but when you look inside and see a kid like a Cheyenne McGavins joining your program, you know that you're going to win in that locker room. You know that you're going to win. And if it's close and everybody fall asleep, there's always a Shy who probably isn't the best three-point shooter, but she's going to make the three to win the game. She may not be the best defender, but she can get the stop to make certain that you have an opportunity to be there. She's not going to always be able to finish a game like we were at Central Michigan, but if you're up by 14 and everybody's excited and there's 3 minutes left, she's going to say, this game's not over, lock in, and then she's going to be right. And so there's so many intangibles with Cheyenne that you can just put your finger on. You know she comes from a good family. She knows she comes from a good heart. She knows she believes in the team, and I know that she believes in me. And I think that's going to be great for the recipe for our success.
Coach, before we even play a game this season, what would you consider to be a win already that you feel on campus here?
Right behind you. Right behind you. These cats right here, they all could have said no. We could have had Lexi stay in Buffalo. She chose Buffalo. And it was always easy. Her parents came here. No, she didn't have to come here. She could have stayed where she was. She chose us again. Kennedy, she wasn't recruited by me. Kennedy came and tried out because she loved our academics and she wanted to come and play for somebody like us. And she had to earn a scholarship. And this kid's going to play a lot of minutes on the court because she's really good. Could have went to anywhere in Chicago, but she chose us. This coaching staff, every single one of my coaches are here with me from Buffalo, and they could have not been here. They could have chose somewhere else. And this lady named Sue Lowick, who's the winningest coach in the state of New York, now she got to take a second seat because I'm the head coach. She could have continued to do what she was doing, in this beautiful city, but she chose to join me on this journey. We've already won. And we're doing it in the Foxhole, and we're going to get these guys locked in that Foxhole, and we're going to tell our story. And Syracuse is alive and well. The light's on. Hope is here, and we're going in, and we're going in hard.
Last question.
So talking about Lexi McNabb, you coached her mom back in the day as an assistant coach at SU. Are there any similarities in terms of instinct or passion that the two have for the game? Just talk a little bit about that.
They talk exactly alike. It's the scariest thing ever. I'm like, but they play totally different. I'm not going to go to a comparison. It's just a bizarre situation. They both play defense very well, but, Roxy was the person that, is always bloody, flying around the floor. She just was a incredibly tough player from day one. We need somebody on the post. I can play post. She's 5'2", I think. She'd get down there and she'll play post, and her voice was always, and she's on those people, she's jacking players up, from freshman year on. Roxy was like, we're going to do it this way. Which way we're going to do? Oh, we're that way. We're going to do it that, She always, was the voice of the coaches and really, really expected winning to be in the formula. And Lexi is going to get there, but Lexi got a lot of personalities around her that is strong. And so I saw yesterday for the first time Lexi really emerging to really take on her personality, whatever that might be. As a freshman, we're going to continue to learn it. But after knowing Roxy for 4 years, it's easy for me to talk about her because she played for me for 4 years. So, but when they talk, it's the most crazy thing ever. I'm like, oh, that's Lex. And the neat thing is, you know, Roxy was never a person to hug. She never hugged me in practice. She's like, why are you touching me? And I sent a picture of me and Lexi on my couch hugging. And she was like, give her a hug for me. No, you don't even hug. I'm hugging her because we hug. And so now I got Roxy a little jealous. So it's kind of a fun thing to have under your belt, that family that exists here at Syracuse where, you know, your former players are having children and they're playing for you now. It's pretty darn cool. Thank you so much for all your support. And, you know, we're going to have some tough times, guys. That's just the way it is. I hope that you stay with us. I hope that you tell the story, but tell the story where you encourage these young people to keep going, keep believing, and that they're going to be enough. And they may fall, and I might call the wrong play. If we can get our community to buy into us trying to become, I promise you, we will cut a net down. And it will be the last net that can be cut down in April. One day soon. You got my word on that today. Have a great day. Thank you so much.